Welcome to English in a Minute. Here is a saying you might hear in an American English conversation.
Open book.
Does that mean someone is talking about reading? Let's listen.
You never have to wonder how Megan is feeling. It's so easy to read her emotions. She's an open book.
You are so right. She is easy to read. You can always tell if she's having a good day or a bad day.
When you say someone is an open book, you mean the person's emotions or thoughts are easy to understand, or, as you just heard, easy to read. A person who is an open book does not hide secrets well. If you have a friend who is easy to read, you can call him or her an open book. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. Here's a colorful expression we use often in American English.
Out of the blue.
How can you get something out of a color?
I just got a message out of the blue on Facebook from my ex-boyfriend, Vladimir.
Oh boy. When was the last time you heard from him?
It's been like 5 years.
And he contacted you just out of the blue like that? Weird.
The expression out of the blue is used to describe any event that happens unexpectedly. There is no warning or time to prepare. The word blue in the expression refers to the clear blue sky. In our example, Anna was surprised by an out-of-the-blue message from an old boyfriend. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. You might have heard this idiom in Taylor Swift's new song.
Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out?
Is Taylor really singing about trees? Let's listen to these friends to find out.
How is your grandmother? I heard she's in the hospital.
Thanks for asking. I visited her this morning and doctors say she is out of the woods. She's feeling much better and is going to be able to go home soon.
Out of the woods means someone is no longer in danger. Sometimes it is used to describe the fact that a person is no longer in danger of dying. But it can also be used when talking about a person or even a company that has gotten out of a difficult situation. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. When you're listening to American English, you might hear this phrase.
Out of your mind.
Is someone who is out of their mind thinking straight?
I just got 2 tickets to see Paul McCartney in concert. Want to go with me?
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. How much were the tickets?
$200. I bought them from someone, so I had to pay a little more.
Whoa, are you out of your mind? Sorry, but I'm not going to pay that much.
Out of your mind means you were a little crazy or not thinking straight. This is an informal saying. Sometimes it can be said in anger, but you can also say this to a friend in a humorous way.
You must be out of your mind.
And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. Be careful when using this idiom.
Over the hill.
My friend's 40th birthday is this weekend. As a present, I think I'll get her a funny over-the-hill t-shirt I saw at the store this weekend.
Are you serious? I don't care how funny it is. Nobody wants to think of themselves as over the hill.
You're right, I know. Instead, I'll get her a Life Begins at 40 coffee mug.
Over the hill means someone or something is old and does not have much value. The saying often is used jokingly for someone who is turning 40 years old because they are at the middle of their life. It can be a rude thing to say to someone, even a friend. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. This idiom sounds a little painful.
Pain in the neck.
What causes a pain in the neck?
Hey, welcome back. How was your trip?
It was great until I missed my flight home.
Missed your flight? How did you get back home?
First, I took a 12-hour bus ride. Then, I took a train the rest of the way. It was a major pain in the neck.
Wow, and you came straight to work.
If something is a pain in the neck, it is generally something that is very annoying. You would rather not deal with whatever is causing you a pain in the neck. For Anna, her return trip turned out to be a big pain in the neck. Literally. And that's English in a minute.
Welcome to English in a Minute. Do you find American idioms hard to understand? It's our goal to make learning them a piece of cake. Everyone in America knows this idiom because it's so easy.
Hey, how did you do on that exam? I got an A. The exam was a piece of cake.
In American English, when you say something is a piece of cake, it means it is very easy to do. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, African Americans started cakewalks. They walked or danced around a cake in pairs, and the best couple won the cake. This is how the idioms cakewalk and piece of cake came about, both meaning that something is very easy to do. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. If you listen to American English, you probably have heard this phrase.
Play it by ear.
What does it mean? Let's find out by listening to an American English conversation.
Hey, what do you want to do this weekend?
I don't know. We could see a movie or have dinner. Why don't we play it by ear?
Sure.
Play it by ear means you aren't going to make a firm plan, but will decide what to do as you go along. This idiom has a musical meaning too. When you don't have the written music for a song, but you play the notes that you think you've heard, you play it by ear. So, when you are in a situation where you make a plan as you go, you're playing it by ear. And that's English in a Minute.
Welcome to English in a Minute. There's a good chance you have heard this Lady Gaga song. What is Lady Gaga singing about? This conversation will help you understand the phrase.
I am having a hard time knowing what Jane is feeling.
I get what you mean. She has such a poker face. She never shows her emotions.
A poker face is one without expression or emotion. The saying comes from the card game poker, where players don't show any reaction to the cards they are dealt. Sometimes people use poker faces when negotiating a business deal. They want to look strong and not give away emotions. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. What do you think of when you hear this American idiom?
Ring a bell.
Did you get my Facebook invite? I'm having a party next Saturday. Can you come? You know, my friend Jane Wagner is going to be there.
That name rings a bell. Was she at your last party too?
Yes, she was. And you two really seemed to hit it off. You should come.
Cool. I will definitely be there.
If something rings a bell for you, it means you remember something. In our example, a name seemed familiar. In everyday life, bells are often used to remind us to do things. For example, school bells ring to let students know it is time for class. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. A breeze is a light wind. What do you think this American idiom means?
Shoot the breeze.
Is this about hunting air?
I'm going to the beach with my friends. I'm so excited to just hang out and shoot the breeze.
Sounds like a great plan. Nothing beats relaxing on the beach and shooting the breeze with good friends.
This expression comes from the Old West, when cowboys would fire their guns in the air at nothing, just for fun. These days, shooting the breeze actually has nothing to do with shooting guns. If you say you are shooting the breeze, you are talking about things that are not very deep or important. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. Ice skating is a popular winter activity around the world, in places where it gets cold enough to have ice. Here's an American English idiom that relates to ice skating.
Oh, I'm thinking about calling in sick to work. I just don't feel well. But I've already missed a few days this month.
Well, you don't want to miss too much work. You could be skating on thin ice with your boss.
Skating on thin ice means you are doing something that could get you into trouble. The expression comes from skating outdoors in the winter on a frozen lake or pond. Skating on ice that is too thin is dangerous. In this example, missing too much work could get you into trouble. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. When you listen to American English, you will probably hear this idiom.
Sleep like a rock.
How does a rock sleep? Let's listen.
I remember you said you were getting a new bed last weekend. How do you like it?
I love it. My old bed totally bit the dust. But the new mattress is great. I slept like a rock last night.
That's good to know. I have not been sleeping well at all lately. Maybe I should think about getting a different mattress too.
If you slept like a rock, you slept very well. You can't wake a rock because it's not alive. You can also say you slept like a log to mean the same thing. And that's English in a Minute.
Welcome to English in a Minute. If you have ever heard people saying goodbye in American English, you probably have heard this.
Make sure to stay in touch.
People who don't see each other often like to find ways to stay in touch. But what does that mean?
It was great to see you at the class reunion. Now make sure to stay in touch. I want to talk to you before our next reunion. I will. I'll stay in touch, and I'll call you sometime next week.
Staying in touch or keeping in touch says that you want to communicate with someone. It means you want to keep in contact, maybe by phone or email, even though you don't see that person often.
Make sure to stay in touch.
And that's English in a Minute.
Welcome to English in a Minute. This American idiom is about getting your facts right.
Did you hear that rumor going around about Craig and Cheryl calling off their wedding?
Yeah, I heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Craig told me he's calling off the wedding. I didn't want to ask too many questions, but it's true.
Do people really look into a horse's mouth for facts? Straight from the horse's mouth means you got information about a situation directly from a person involved, and not through rumors. The saying comes from the fact that people can tell the true age of a horse by looking at the teeth in its mouth. So, if you get your information straight from the horse's mouth, you have the truth. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. When an apple falls to the ground, it does not fall far from a tree. But what does it mean if you say that about a person? Let's listen.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Did you get a chance to meet Shelley's mom while she was in town? The two look like they could be sisters.
Yes, I did. She was so nice, and she talks the same way as Shelley. Clearly, the apple didn't fall far from the tree there.
If the apple does not fall far from the tree, it means two people are very similar. It means a son or daughter seems very similar to a parent. If a friend has many of the same qualities as one of his or her parents, you can say, wow, the apple sure didn't fall far from the tree. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. We have a lot of weather expressions in American English. But some expressions that talk about the weather are not actually about the weather.
Why is everything so quiet in the newsroom today?
We are expecting breaking news from the mayor's office.
Oh, so this is the calm before the storm.
Exactly. When news of her arrest breaks, this place is going to get crazy.
Before most big storms, there is that moment of calm. The air is still, the bugs and birds are quiet. Then the storm starts with rain, wind, thunder, and lightning. In spoken English, the calm before the storm is the period of quiet before something dramatic happens. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. The sky is very far away. So what could this idiom mean?
Sky's the limit.
That baseball game yesterday was amazing. But I just can't believe the Nationals came back for the win.
I know, right? That was shocking. With the new players this year, I feel the sky's the limit for this team.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my hopes that high.
If the sky is the limit, there is a lot of hope and opportunity for someone or something. So, if someone says the sky is the limit for you, they believe with your talent and skill, you can accomplish anything. In our example, Jonathan believes the sky's the limit for his favorite baseball team this year. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. An iceberg is a large mass of ice floating on the water. Here is an idiom about icebergs.
Did you see that story about the university scandal? A professor got in trouble for giving 90% of his students A's. Some hadn't even come to class all semester. It's a huge scandal.
That's probably just the tip of the iceberg. I bet there are more teachers and maybe even administrators involved.
If something is the tip of the iceberg, it's a small part of a much larger issue. Most of an iceberg is actually underwater. The bigger danger is below the surface. People usually use this idiom when talking about a problem. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. Butterflies are some of the most beautiful creatures in the world. The way they float along in the air is so lovely. But what does it mean
to have butterflies?
Let's see how to use this phrase in a conversation.
Hey Anna, how did your presentation go yesterday?
Oh, it went well, but I had butterflies in my stomach the whole time. Speaking in front of a large group of people like that always makes me nervous.
To have butterflies means you feel nervous or excited about something. You might know the feeling of having butterflies in your stomach before a very important event. You can have butterflies before a big test, when you're on a first date, or like Anna, during a presentation. And that's English in a Minute.
Welcome to English in a Minute. Sometimes American English doesn't seem to make sense like this.
I'm under the weather.
Under the weather. What could that mean?
Are you okay? Not really. I think I'm a little bit under the weather. You should go home and get some rest. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
If you stand under the weather, you might have a dark storm cloud over your head, and you might not feel very well. When you say you are under the weather, it means you are sick or not feeling well. This phrase comes from sailors at sea. If a ship was in bad weather and its sailors were sick, the crew would go below deck to get out from under the weather to try and feel better. And that's English in a Minute.
Welcome to English in a Minute. This expression sounds as if we're flying in the sky.
Up in the air.
But does this actually mean we are floating above the ground?
So your cousin is graduating from high school this year. Has she decided on a college?
She hasn't decided on anything yet. All her college plans are up in the air. She doesn't even know what she wants to study.
She had better get on it.
If something is up in the air, it is undecided and uncertain. If an object is floating through the air, it is hard to know where it is going, which is where this expression comes from. In the past, people just said in the air. But in the mid-1900s, we added up, making it up in the air. And that's English in a minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. Here's a common saying in American English.
Up the creek without a paddle.
I wonder if that means things are going well for someone. Let's see.
Jane was all ready to buy that new car. She had the money saved up for it.
I heard that too, but then she needed the money to fix up her house instead. She is up the creek without a paddle when it comes to getting that new car.
Being up the creek without a paddle means you are in a bad situation. There is no easy way out. Because if you're on a boat, on a creek, without a paddle to help move or turn, you can't go forward. It describes a situation in which someone wants or needs to act, but cannot. And that's English in a Minute. Check out our website at learningenglish.voanews.com.
Welcome to English in a Minute.
We all have our own ways of waking up in the morning. But is this expression really about waking up in the morning?
Wake-up call.
I can't believe my roommate.
Why? What's up?
She buys everything with her credit card. She's already $20,000 in debt.
Ouch. Living off credit is a bad idea. She needs a wake-up call.
A wake-up call is something that makes you wake up to a bad reality, like a huge credit card bill. But this expression can also mean an actual wake-up call at a hotel. Next time you travel, you can ask for a wake-up call, or if a friend is not facing reality, you can give them a wake-up call. And that's English in a Minute. Welcome to English in a Minute. Bridges often cross bodies of water, such as rivers or bays. But what could this idiom mean? Let's find out.
Water under the bridge.
I can't believe I forgot about your birthday. I am such a bad friend.
Don't worry about it. It's water under the bridge.
I promise I won't forget again. Next year, I'll be sure to get you something extra nice.
People use the idiom water under the bridge to express that a past event cannot be changed. You can't control the natural flow of water, just as you can't go back and change the course of a past event. Jonathan tells Anna not to worry about forgetting his birthday because it's water under the bridge. And that's English in a Minute.
Welcome to English in a Minute, where we teach you all about idioms in American English. Have you ever heard someone say, "What's up?" What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's take a look at this conversation.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
This phrase is a casual expression and is normally used when you're talking to friends, family, or colleagues. You would not want to use it in a formal business situation. What's up is a greeting. It's a different way of saying what's happening. When you ask someone what's up in a conversation, it's another way to say hello. Ask how things are going, how the person is feeling. It's a common greeting used by just about everybody in America. And that's English in a Minute.